After an intense battle, the two make it back to base completely wiped out. To celebrate their victory, Wang tells Yue she can eat as much as she wants tonight. It's on him. He heads off for a much-needed shower and some clean clothes before finally crashing for the night. Yue, on the other hand, cracks open a can of beer and kicks back. Once Wang gets to his room, he asks the game system to pull up the notification that popped up earlier. The system brings up his character stats panel: strength, agility, physical power, spirit, you name it. Turns out his base stats are, well, kinda trash. But hey, there's a lottery system where you can snag rewards like food, weapons, and attribute boosts, if you're willing to trade a ridiculous amount of gold for it. Plus, you can level up your skills by taking out zombies, which might just be his ticket to becoming a total powerhouse. After checking out all that, Wang steps out of his room only to find Yue passed out on the couch, surrounded by empty beer cans. She's out cold. So, like the decent guy he is, Wang decides to carry her to her room. But while he's lifting her, he can't help but notice, well, let's just say he starts appreciating her figure a little too much. His face turns red, and his thoughts take a turn like, man, she's been so sweet to me this whole time. Maybe she'd make a great girlfriend. But then he shakes it off, thinking, nah, dude, you can't be that guy who takes advantage of someone when they're asleep. He heads off to take a cold shower instead, trying to cool down his thoughts and other things. Little does he know, Yue's been faking it the whole time. She's wide awake and pissed. Why? Because Wang only sees her as a friend and doesn't have the guts to think of her as anything more. Despite her frustration, the two end up having a pretty chill night after their chaotic day. The next morning, Wang and Yue prepare to head east to the city. Meanwhile, the Tiger Gang is sniffing around for food, claiming they caught the scent of fresh meat nearby. Our protagonists were perched up high, scoping out the scene when they noticed them. Yup, those guys, led by a dude with green hair, Chen Jiqiang. These dudes rolled up to a building and demanded the meat they knew someone inside had found. Inside the building, we've got Miao Ruyun, a total badass who used to be a cop before the apocalypse hit. She's claimed the building as her safe zone, and let's be real, she's not about to let some randoms take her stuff. She's holed up with her mentor, Li Chengping, also a cop, though currently out of commission with a foot injury, and some kids. Meanwhile, Wang decides he's got to step in because, let's face it, he's gonna need backup to take down the other factions later. Chaos breaks out, guns blazing and everything, because Officer Miao flat out refuses to hand over the meat. The tigers freak out and scatter, running like their lives depend on it. After the dust settles, Wang casually strolls up to the building with his hands raised like, chill, I just want to talk. He's even got some food with him as a peace offering. Miao and her group let him inside, but they're not dumb. They've got their eyes on him the whole time, guns locked and loaded. The second Wang steps through the door, they shove a gun to his head. Officer Miao doesn't waste time and tells him to follow her up to the second floor to talk alliance business. As soon as Wang makes it to the second floor, boom, he runs into the group of survivors. Right away, Officer Miao hits him with the classic, what's your deal vibe. He's planning to wipe out all the gangs. Yeah, like every single one. Naturally, Miao thinks he's completely out of his mind. She's like, dude, there are way too many of them for you to be throwing hands like this. But Wang, the man with the plan, tells her all about how he stirred the pot between the tigers and the bears, basically making them claw at each other, and now he's planning to do the same with the last two gangs standing. At first, Miao's so not into it. She's all, yeah, hard pass. But then Wang sweetens the deal. More food than they could ever dream of. Oh, and she doesn't even have to worry about weapons or ammo. Wang flexes a little. Turns out being a millionaire comes in clutch in an apocalypse. That catches Miao's attention, and she's finally like, all right, I'm in. Fast forward, they're all back at Wang's base. Wang explains to Miao that so far it's just been him and Yue holding the line. And yeah, they've been outnumbered, but Yue, She's a total badass with guns. Later, they crack open some beers to chill with their new guests, when out of nowhere, a massive explosion echoes in the distance. It's coming from the tigers and the bears. Turns out, Wang's been playing puppet master behind the scenes, and now they're at each other's throats. Meow looks at him, half impressed, half suspicious, and says she'll trust him, for now. After some back and forth, they all agree to hit the hay and practice their shooting the next day. The next day, after breakfast, they head to the shark's base. But it's immediately clear this isn't gonna be easy. Their security's way tighter than the tigers. From their high vantage point, Wang and the crew spot guards armed with everything from guns to knives to random sticks. Meow suggests they take out the gun guys first, and without missing a beat, they drop one with a clean headshot. Chaos breaks out. But Wang, he's not happy. He's like, yo, chill. Don't go full Rambo on these dudes. We need some of them alive. Cue plan B. Head to the bears' turf and stir up some more drama there. Wang figures if they keep pointing fingers at each other, the gangs will wipe each other out without him lifting a finger. But then Xing, the shark's leader, shows up. She's got big boss energy and immediately dismisses the idea that anyone would dare mess with her gang like this. Instead, she assumes some shadowy figures pulling the strings behind the scenes. Meanwhile, over at the Eagle's base, their leader Faye gets word about a fire breaking out nearby. Dude's on high alert. Of course, Wang and his squad are behind it, and his plan to keep all four gangs at each other's throats is working like a charm. Back at Wang's base, he's practicing his shooting, trying to not suck. Spoiler, he's not great. Officer Meow strolls over, watches him miss his shots, and just shakes her head like, bruh, you're wasting bullets. She tells him she just came out to get some air and thanks him for all the help he's given her group. Apparently, Wang's been such a game changer that she started to feel like her old self again, back when she was a badass cop before this whole zombie apocalypse flipped the world upside down. She shares a little more about her past, explaining how she used to work with a squad of other survivors to protect people. But over time, the food started running low. Arguments turned ugly, and things got real messy. So messy that people started dropping like flies. Bit by bit, she lost hope and stopped believing she could actually protect anyone. But then, joining this new group of kids, plus their quirky teacher, kind of reignited her fighting spirit. Now she wants to keep them safe, no matter what. Wang, being Wang, tries to hype her up. You're seriously brave, you know that? He says. Stop selling yourself short, all right? Cue the heartfelt pause. But then, our guy decides it's time to steer the convo into less emotional territory. He reminds her of the little deal they made earlier. She promised to teach him how to shoot properly. She chuckles and tells him that handling guns isn't too hard as long as you master the basics. And with that, she grabs him by the collar and pulls him close. Her hand slides over his, guiding him as he lines up the shot. Her tips are solid. She's an ex-cop after all. But Wang? Oh, he's not paying attention to the lesson. Why? Well, let's just say her assets are a little too close for comfort, and our boy is struggling to focus. Still, despite being totally flustered, he manages to improve his aim thanks to her guidance. Meanwhile, Yue is standing off to the side, watching the whole thing go down. And let me tell you, she's not happy. Her face says it all. She's low-key heartbroken that Wang didn't ask her for help with his shooting. A few days later, the rivalry between the Tiger Gang and the Bear Gang has escalated into full-blown chaos. Explosions, gunfire, and general mayhem have taken over the city. Meanwhile, our crew is posted up on a high vantage point, just chilling and collecting intel while the two gangs tear each other apart. The results? An absolute bloodbath. Both sides suffered massive losses, burning through a ton of resources and leaving only a handful of survivors. Oh, and remember all that noise from the constant fighting? Yeah, it attracted a huge zombie horde to the Tiger's base. As for the Shark Gang, They've been expanding their territory, taking advantage of the chaos to grab more land while the other gangs are busy getting wrecked. And then there's the Eagle Gang. Thanks to their spies in the Shark Gang, they've managed to get the inside scoop on what's going down. They're ready to defend themselves if the Sharks try anything funny. So yeah, it's looking like round 2 of this gang war is about to pop off real soon. Meanwhile, at Shark Group HQ, the building's barely got a dozen guards patrolling the place. Perfect setup for an ambush, right? Bang. One dude drops from a headshot, and another guard gets snatched up like a scared puppy. Yue chimes in over comms, confirming there are just 2 guards on this floor. Our boy Wang steps up, aiming his gun right at the hostage's face. Where's the gold, big guy? Spill it, or I'll make sure you regret it. Shaking like a leaf, the dude cracks and spills. First floor, storage room. With that, they drag the guy along as their unwilling tour guide, keeping a gun pressed to his back. All right, you lead the way, genius. If this is a trap, you're the first one eating it. The guard's got a little too much confidence for a guy in his situation, though. Inside his head, he's practically screaming, "These idiots!" They don't know there's a staircase on the opposite side. The second I hit that stairwell, I'm out of here and straight to my boss. Finally, they hit a crossroads and the guard stops. "This way," he says, pointing ahead. Wang follows, motioning for the rest to hang back. But just as they close the distance, Mr. Genius Guard flips the script. "You're dead!" he yells, grinning like a lunatic. "My boss is coming, and you're all gonna die!" Before he can bolt, the group lunges for him, but the guy's faster than he looks. Too bad karma works quick in this world. He turns a corner and bam! Zombies. The dude freezes like a deer in headlights, screams his lungs out, and silence. Our gang stops dead in their tracks, staring at the carnage from a distance. Blood starts pooling into view and, oh boy, it's not looking good for the guy. "Ah, so zombies?" Wang mutters, breaking the tension. And yep, the undead are here, swarming like a wall of gross, flesh-hungry freaks right in front of the vault. They've got the gold locked down, and it's not looking like a friendly negotiations on the table. Yu frowns, crossing her arms. "Remind me again. Why are we risking our necks for some shiny bricks? This feels super dumb." Wang shrugs. "If we get this gold, we can save our group. You in or out?" Yue hesitates, then sighs. "All right, fine. But this is on you if we die." She's barely finished when she adds, "This is the only shot we've got. If we back off now, it's going to be impossible to come back later." After what feels like forever, they're left panting, but victorious, standing in front of the vault. And when they crack it open, holy crap, it's like Scrooge McDuck's dream come true. Piles of gold everywhere. "A small problem," Yue says, scanning the room. "How do we move like 40 tons of this stuff?" Our boy Wang stops for a second, lost in thought, and realizes something huge. This gold stash is his ticket to leveling up the system and snagging every single perk he was promised. The moment's here, people. It's go time. Time to fire up the system and see what kind of crazy magic this thing can pull off. The system kicks in and immediately reacts to the mountain of gold in front of it. It's hyped. Finally, some real treasure, it says, popping up an update option. Wang asks how much gold is actually sitting in this vault, and the system casually drops the bomb. 1,968 pounds of pure gold. Yep, no big deal, right? Wang, all fired up, declares, "We're not moving this gold an inch." Ku Miao looking like she just got hit with bad news. After all that effort? For nothing? But Wang lays it out. This gold isn't for them to lug around. There's an organization behind him, one he can't spill too many details about, that's going to handle the heavy lifting. His job? Find the gold, mark the location, and let his secret team sweep in to deal with it. The officer gives him the side eye and snaps, "No wonder you're out here dining on fancy food while the rest of us are scavenging scraps. Who the hell are you working with?" Wang, cool as ever, doesn't flinch. "I can't tell you that," he says. "But trust me, I'd never put you all in harm's way. Meow hesitates, but after everything they've been through together, zombies, chaos, near-death experiences, she knows Wong's earned their trust. Wong quickly sends out the gold's location and tells the group to leave the vault ASAP. If anyone shows up, let me know immediately, he orders. The girls reluctantly agree and head out, leaving Wong alone with the stash. Now's the moment of truth. The system boots up and opens a menu with two shiny new options: expanded storage and extraction system. Wong doesn't hesitate. He orders all the gold to be transferred into the system's storage. The system chimes in, all business. Once the gold is stored, 10,000 ones will be deducted for the update, and you'll receive a luminous cube. A what now? Wang stares at the screen, confused but intrigued, and asks if he can upgrade again. Sure, the system replies, but you'll need 66,000 pounds of gold to hit the next level. And that's when you unlock the lottery system, where gold can be used as currency. Wang does some quick mental math and grumbles. Damn, that's steep, but fine. Let's do it. The system starts updating, and Wong reflects on how weak his combat skills are. He's been leaning way too hard on his team for protection, and that needs to change. No way he's staying the weak link. Finally, the update's done. The lottery system appears, and get this, a legit slot machine materializes in front of him. It's got a giant lever and everything. Wang can't help but smirk. The cost? 220 pounds of gold per spin. All right, let's see what this baby can do, he mutters, grabbing the lever and giving it a solid yank. Wang thinks this whole system is ridiculously expensive. Like, dude's already dropped a ton of gold just to get it up and running, and now it's asking for even more. But hey, if he wants to get stronger and take down gangs solo like a badass, he's got to keep pouring in that cash. Or, well, gold. And boom, the wheel lands on a level 5 skill. Hell yeah! But wait, oh no. The wheel's gone rogue and starts spinning again like it's possessed, and now it lands on a level 1 skill. Seriously. Turns out, all he gets is a teeny tiny boost to basic agility. Wong just stands there, absolutely crushed. Dude's out 220 pounds of gold for that? He's practically crying at this point, but decides, screw it, I'm trying 10 more times. And so, the chaos begins. After a few spins, the machine spits out the weirdest loot ever. 2 grenades, night vision goggles, a rocket launcher, 3 machine guns, a pack of spicy sticks, and a skill book. Wang's beyond done at this point. At least I got a skill book, he mutters. I'll check it out later or whatever. Then we get a look at his stat table. And okay, it's not all bad. His shooting skill got a solid boost. Critical damage and shooting range are now up by 10 points each. But to level up further, he's got to kill like 1,000 zombies. Wang's clearly not thrilled with his luck so far, but giving up? Nah, that's not his vibe. He's diving in for a few more spins. A little while later, yeah, still nothing impressive. He's won some food and water though, so there's that. But then, plot twist. He actually gets something useful. A box of rifle ammo and a new skill called Flame Palm. Now that sounds badass. Even Wang can't deny it's a win, despite his trash luck. The system tells him he's got 9,000 pounds of gold left, but he's not touching it. For now. Then Wong starts thinking about heading back home. Apparently, 1 day in his world equals 7 days in this apocalyptic hellhole. So if he bails for even a bit, things could get real messy for his friends. Top priority? Helping them out and wiping out the crazy shark gang ASAP. Meanwhile, Meow is just chilling with a soda like it's no big deal. She's all, man, drinking soda used to be so normal, but now it's like a luxury. Yue's like, curl, relax. Wang's probably bringing back more soon anyway. The officer teases Yue, saying her whole face lights up whenever Wang's mentioned. Yue instantly goes red, denying everything. That's not true. Stop making it weird. Right on cue, Wong shows up. They immediately ask if he's marked the group's position, and he's like, "Yeah, done and dusted, let's move out." Miao suggests attacking now since the building's practically empty, but Wong has other ideas. "Nah," he says, "we should rescue the Brave Eagles first." The officer looks at him like he's lost his mind. "Are you serious? Those guys are weak as hell, and they're not exactly the nicest people." Wong shrugs. "Yeah, but if we help them, taking down the crazy sharks will be way easier." Alrighty, that's a wrap for today's episode. Go check the channel to see if the next part's already up. If it is, it'll be right here on the screen, so just click it and boom, you're there. Catch you in the next vid. Bye.